Hi, hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the webinar. I hope I'm audible and the screen visible to all of you. We'll get started with the webinar. Just a moment, I'll open the file. So the purpose of this webinar is to help you understand how to create different visualizations in Tableau. Introduction, the features. We will talk about something called as generated fields and all that. Before we begin with the actual concepts, there is something that I would like to introduce you to. One is Edureka's meetup community. So on the web, on the internet, when you go to the link meetup.edureka.com, okay, when you go to the link meetup.edureka.com, here you will be able to see, this is basically a platform where Edureka conducts a lot of webinars on emerging trends and technologies like AI, big data, blockchain, IoT, so on and so forth. They organize webinars, workshops, YouTube live events, seminars, etc. So you could get in touch with them. You can join the group. You can keep up with whatever latest things they are coming up with. Okay. Next thing is, now that you're attending this webinar, if you register here, you will avail a 20% off on all the trending courses. The coupon code that you need to use for this is webinar 20. Webinar 20 is the coupon code. Okay. The next thing that you might be interested in is the Edureka webinars website itself. Okay. So when you go to edureka.co/webinars, here you will come across the complete list of upcoming webinars, okay, like the one that we are having right now here, where we'll discuss about Tableau charts and graphs. Okay, then we have something scheduled for tomorrow, for day after, so on and so forth. So almost every day there is a webinar which will help you understand certain things. Okay, so you can consider enrolling for these webinars by just clicking on register now. So these are two things that I wanted to let you know about before we proceed further. Just give me a moment, please. Yeah, sorry about that. Right. So how do the sessions over here happen is live instructor-led sessions happen at Edureka, like the one that we are having right now. I am here. I'm taking you through the program, right? That way. There is 24/7 doubt clearing support that you will get from Edureka. And you will be receiving a certification at the end of the course, which has good value in the market. And whatever course you enroll for, each and every module in every course has assignments, it has projects, case studies. So a lot of hands-on experience you will get. For Tableau specifically, the course duration is of 36 hours. Okay. So you can get in touch with the team to find out what are the latest batches, when is the next batch starting, what are the upcoming batches and all. Here we don't have the updated list. So generally what happens is we have sessions on the weekends and we have session during the weekdays. So if it is a weekend morning program, this is all in terms of IST, Indian Standard Time. Okay. So it will be from 7 to 10 a.m. IST if it's weekday. In case it is weekend, it will be 7 to 9 a.m. IST. Similarly, if it is a weekend program, it will be 8:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. IST in the evening. Or if it is weekday, then 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. IST. So basically, if it is weekend, it will be of 3 hours duration. If it is weekday, then the duration of the course will be of 4 hours. 2 hours. Weekday is 2 hours. Weekend is 4 hours. Okay. Now we'll just go through the list of modules that we cover and in what sequence we are going to cover them. The first module is data preparation using Tableau Prep Builder. Now, Tableau Prep is a tool that is used to prepare the data for analysis by cleaning the data, by transforming the data. Then we have data connections with Tableau Desktop. From within Tableau, how can we connect to different data sources is what you will see. Then we have basic visual analytics, where you will look at how to create some basic charts in Tableau, like bar graph, line graph, pie chart, such things. Then we have calculations. Okay, we will see how to manipulate the data, tweak the data by making the use of calculated fields. Then we have advanced visual analytics. Okay, where you will look at some advanced charts in Tableau, and also the analytical capabilities of Tableau will be touched upon, like it can perform prediction, forecasting, clustering, all that we will see. Then we have level of detail expressions, which are also a type of calculations itself that come under Tableau. So we'll be looking at them in detail. Geographic visualizations you can check. Advanced charts like Pareto chart, waterfall chart, box plot, okay, control chart, funnel charts, all some really advanced charts will be covered over here. Then we have dashboards and stories. Okay, how do we bring all the individual graphs together to create a dashboard or a story? And then finally get it ready, where we will look at how to upload, how to apply them in real time. We'll be working on one project also in this module. Then there is module 11, where we talk about Tableau Online, which is nothing but Tableau Cloud, a sharing and collaborating platform wherein we can upload our work and we can share it with other users. So module 11 is what we cover, is where we cover that module. Then module 12 is where you will be again working on a small project. Okay, so this is about the route map that we follow for Tableau at Edureka. 12 modules, each module, it's not necessarily 3 hours per module. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter, but overall duration of the course is 36 hours. Okay. So what is Tableau? It is basically a data visualization product. It is a tool that can connect to data coming from different sources and present it in a graphical format. Okay, like you take data from different sources and on Tableau, you create the charts and you publish them to the server, from where end users will be able to access these reports. When we look at the features of Tableau, it has amazing data visualization capabilities. Excellent customer support is there. It's very easy to implement the tool. We can integrate it with different data sources. Tableau mobile app is there to see the reports on mobile. And there's a rich online community which comes to our help when we need it. Now, when we get connected to any data source in Tableau, fields from the data source will be available in it. Apart from that, there are few extra fields that it will provide to us, additional fields that it will provide us, like measure names, measure values, okay, something called as number of records, latitude and longitude coordinates for different locations. So these are referred to as generated fields. we will be looking at how to build certain charts in Tableau. We'll begin with a bar chart. So for this, you will need to have Tableau installed on your machine. Okay. So how do you do that? You could go to tableau.com, which is the website that Tableau uses. Okay, it is Tableau website. So when we go to tableau.com and when we go to products and we go here, there is Tableau public down here. When you click on Tableau public, it opens up this page. Okay, now you could click on go to Tableau public, which takes you to Tableau public website. Here we have a create option at the top. We need to click on download Tableau desktop public edition, which will take us to that page from where we can download the tool. So this is how you navigate and reach this point. It's not necessary also. I'm giving you the direct link. So I've sent it in the chat box. This is the direct link, the place where you can go and directly click on download Tableau public and download the tool. Of course, when you do this, it will prompt you to fill in a form. Okay, where you are supposed to enter your first name, last name, your personal email ID also will work. It need not always be the business email, even personal email will work, the country and region to which you belong, and you can click on download the app. Once this is done, the executable file will be downloaded onto your machine. And after it is downloaded onto your machine, you can go ahead and run the installable file. Okay, it is a very simple installation wizard. You just need to accept the terms and conditions by selecting one checkbox, and then you'll click on next, 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 and install. Once you have installed it, a shortcut will be created on your desktop for that particular tool. Okay, now in a corporate environment, Tableau desktop is used, the professional edition. In a training environment or for personal use, you can download Tableau public, which is more than sufficient because this is a free version of Tableau desktop. So you can download this tool for free and you can use it for free forever. Once it is downloaded, when we double click on it, it will open up. Okay, now how can we get the data sources to work on this particular tool? In fact, if you go to resources, okay, or we could do one thing, we'll just search on the internet. Okay, when you search for something called as Superstore, sample Superstore for Tableau, something like that, when you search, you will get a link actually. This is Tableau community where you will find Superstore data source. I'm sharing this link also in the chat box. So this is the file that most people use when they are practicing concepts on Tableau. Okay, this is a file prepared by Tableau people themselves. It is Superstore. It's basically a retail data source where you have transactional data of various products sold by a business, which is called as Superstore. Okay, so you can download this data source and connect to it. Now, how can we connect to the file? Is you can go up to file option on, you have to go to Microsoft Excel. Okay, because it is an Excel file that I'm trying to connect to. I'll choose Microsoft Excel. Navigate to the location where the file is present. So I would have Superstore somewhere here. And then click on open. Now, once I do this, once I navigate to the location and select the file and connect to the file, okay, it brings me to the data source page. Here we configure the connection. So there are many tables present in that particular data source, right? So from which table are you trying to take the data? You can just drag and drop that table. Okay, once it is ready, I'll proceed to the worksheet. All right, the first graph that we will learn how to create here is a bar graph, as you can see over here. So bar graph is used to perform comparative analysis on the data. So when you have to simply bring data from across different categories and present it. Now, for various categories, let's say I would like to check what is the profit like. Look at that. I have a simple vertical columns chart vertically oriented bars indicating the profit from various categories. I could also turn on the mark labels. I can even color each of them. Okay, I could control the size of each of them, let's say by profit. The least profitable one is very thin, the most profitable one is pretty wide, so on and so forth. So you can control things here. Bar graph is used to perform relative comparison or categorical comparison. The next chart we'll look at is a line chart. Line chart is used to compare the data over a period of time. Means whenever we have time series data and when we need to present it in the form of a graph to see how the business is performing over a period of time, year over year, how is its performance like? Something like that, you can create a line chart. So I'm going to create a line chart with order date and let's say profit. So year over year, I can notice that the profit is steadily increasing. Dates, if you might have noticed, this date, no, it is stored as a hierarchy. Date hierarchies are automatically created, they are inbuilt. So when I click on this plus sign, it drills down and takes me to the next level, like quarter, further drills down to month. Any level that is not required, you could remove. So year and month is what I have here, so on and so forth. Okay. Pareto chart. Pareto chart is a combination of a line graph and a bar graph. It basically indicates which members, what are all those members whose contribution towards the measure value is significantly high. Okay, so let's say there are different subcategories and this is the profit that they are making. Okay, I'll sort this in descending order. Now I want to see how these are contributing towards the final value. So I could convert it into a Pareto chart by computing the running total. We can also express the running total as percent of total. Okay, so this is Pareto curve. So it's telling that copiers alone is giving the business almost 20% of the profit. 20% of the profit made by the business coming from a single member, means by selling items related to copiers alone. Copiers and phones collectively have taken the profit to 35%. Okay, so just a handful of members, you can see just 4 members. Copiers, phones, accessories, and paper are giving Superstore more than 60% of the profit that it's making. Right? These members, their contribution is very high. 80% is coming from just about 6 members over here. Then we have very little profits and we also have members that are pulling down the profit by giving a negative contribution. So the Pareto curve is here. Now, what about the actual performance? I could take profit again and merge them with the concept of dual axis. So we have one concept called as dual axis in Tableau, by using which you can merge the graphs, 2 different graphs into one canvas. So you see both of them are coming together in one XY coordinate plane. Now the second profit, which corresponds to the individual values, I could just go and make it a bar. Look at that. So it's a combination of a line chart and a bar graph. We could also enable the mark labels. Okay, you can format the mark labels. All these options are available. So this is a Pareto chart, which basically tells us the contribution of various members towards the measure value. How are they contributing? What is their contribution like? Okay, next we'll go to another chart, which is a bullet chart. Bullet chart is used as a gauge to show the performance of the measure. It is like this. The actual performance comes in the form of a reference line and the target is like a bullet traveling towards the, my bad. Actual performance is indicated with the bar and the target is given through a reference line. Okay, so whether the actual performance has been able to reach the target, whether we reached the target, whether we went beyond the target, or did we miss the target, or this is indicated clearly on a bullet graph. So how do we do this on a bullet chart? I'll use a different data source where I have the targets also. So there are different products being sold, and or I'll just show you the easiest method of creating it. For various products, let's say I would like to compare the actual profit with the target profit. Target profit is in the field called as budget profit. Actual profit is in the field called profit. Okay. So I'll go here to show me panel and click on bullet chart. Now look at that. Bullet chart is ready. But how do we interpret this graph? Let me show you. So the target performance is coming as the reference line and the actual is this bar. We couldn't reach the target, right? This bar could not reach the line, means it didn't reach the target. It made a profit of 4,890 when it was expected to make a profit of 7,020. So clearly it missed the target. Was it able to reach at least 60% of the expectation? Yes. This is 60% mark. This is 80% of this value. Was it able to reach the 80% mark? No. Clearly, it missed the target. It could not reach even 80% of what was expected. But it managed to reach 60% of the expectation that way. If you look at the second product, it went way beyond the expectation. Third one couldn't reach the 80% mark and definitely didn't reach the target. Mint, if you take here, it went beyond the 60% mark. It went beyond the 80% mark also. It missed the target by a small margin. Okay, so this is a bullet chart. Comparing the actual versus the target comes in very handy when you create a bullet chart. So when you have to compare two measures against each other, especially the actual performance versus the target performance, then it comes in handy. Now, text table. So when you have to show the exact value, when showing the exact value is the matter of concern for us, we could create a text table. I'll take subcategory here and I will take profit into the column. So you can see the exact profit values are coming up over there. Exactly what is the profit. So that's a text table. It is created when you have to show exact value or when you have an eye for detail. Okay, when attention to detail is important. Now, heat map. Heat map is similar to a text table. Okay, it is similar to a text table, except that we will show the data not by putting values in it, but by, let's say, across different subcategories for various regions, I'm looking at the information. So rather than putting the numbers in there, rather than saying, okay, this is the profit, if I represent it with a square, okay, and control the size of the square with my measure, maybe even control the color of the square with the measure. This is a heat map, something like this. Okay, so indicating the data with a square, where the size of the square and the color are indicating the measure value. So wherever you're seeing orange colors, it is a very bad loss. Wherever you're seeing blue color, it is good profit. Dark blue means very high profit. Okay. Waterfall chart. Waterfall chart is used to visualize the cumulative effect of a measure over a dimension. How different members are coming together, contributing towards the final value. Cumulative effect of a measure over a dimension. So what does this mean? We have subcategory. Now, across different subcategories, let's say I'm looking at the profit. Okay, and this is also built on the running total. Running total means what? Cumulative total. So what does it mean when I say cumulative total? Let's say I have the COVID cases count with me, okay? And I need to calculate the running total of that data. So let's say 10 cases were reported in Jan, 5 cases in Feb. So running total here will be 10, and here it will be 10 plus 5, 15. Okay, maybe another 10 cases got reported in March, which increases the overall case count, which increases the running total to 15 plus 10, 25. Okay, so for quite some time in the news, for a couple of years, we heard this, right? Total number of new cases reported today, let's say 20, which increases the overall case count worldwide to 45. Total number of new cases reported today, 10, which has increased the overall case count to 55. Total number of new cases reported today, 20, which increases the overall case count to 75. Getting it? So that overall value, as new data keeps coming in, it keeps getting accumulated. It keeps getting added to the existing data, and that is running total. Okay. So here, waterfall chart is built on the running total. Accessories is giving a contribution of 42,000. But accessories and appliances together are giving a contribution of 60,000. So what is the contribution of appliances alone? This much. Okay, this is the contribution of the member accessories. This is the contribution of the member appliances. Okay, if these two are giving so much profit, what is the contribution of art? Very little, very little. If this is the contribution of all these three members, what is the contribution of binders? Significantly high. Then there is a member which is giving a loss, thereby pulling down the profit. Okay, so when you indicate like this, it is a waterfall chart. So we can create a waterfall chart in Tableau through a small workaround. We have to create a Gantt chart, and then we also need to create a calculated field, negative counterpart of whatever measure is being analyzed, and that should be used to give the size. Look at the way it will go now, like that. Okay, like that. So the tip of the bar was positioned. Now the size of the bar is indicating the value. We can see very little coming from fasteners. It's actually a loss. This is also a loss. So we can't really go by the color, go by the size. Let's put color here. So it's increasing, then it fell down. Then it's increasing, then it fell down and further fell down. Right? It went down. From here, it came down and then it came down. So individual contribution and also the collective contribution, you can show by showing a total. This is a waterfall chart. How different members are contributing towards the measure value. Is it a positive contribution? Is it a negative contribution? All these things. I hope you all understood waterfall chart. We'll proceed to the next chart. Just a moment. Next is Gantt chart. Now Gantt chart is used. A Gantt chart is basically a project plan. Okay, it will tell you what are the different activities that you need to perform a project. So to complete a project. Okay, let's say you are given a task to build a house. Let's say building the house is the project given to me. Now, I can't randomly go and say I will start the painting work first or I will start the plumbing work first, isn't it? There is going to be a proper sequence of activities. We need to perform the activities in a proper sequence in order to achieve the final task, which is to build the house. So a plan has to be laid out generally by the project manager. He comes up with a plan, okay, telling what are the activities to be performed, in what sequence are we supposed to perform them, what are the timelines associated with them, when am I supposed to start the event or activity, by when am I supposed to complete the task given to me. So all this is going to be we are going to be given instructions on exactly what has to be done, and that instruction comes to us in the form of a project plan. List of activities to be performed against a timeline is the project plan. Okay, so for example, let's say, let me try. I don't know if the date format here is proper or not. Let me just give it a try. So if my project is to build a house, first I need to know what are the list of activities that I should perform or tasks that I'm supposed to perform. And I need to know when to start each of those tasks exactly. I need to know what is the duration given to each of those tasks. How many days do I have to work on each task and complete it? And I also need to sort them in a proper sequence based on their start date. When am I supposed to start each of it? I need to have an idea about that. Right? Only then a project plan will come into picture. So if I have to build a house, first I would probably want to lay down the foundation. It is supposed to start on so and so date, and we have a duration of 10 days to complete that work. Then we're going to start building the walls. Then we're going to lay the roof. Okay, then the doors and windows will be fixed. Then electric and plumbing work can happen in parallel. Then the painting work, and finally the flooring work. And then, of course, the finishing touches, interiors, all those things. So there needs to be a plan to work on any project. Need not be only a technical project. It could be anything that we have to do in our life. We need to have a plan. And that plan is nothing but a Gantt chart. It's nothing but a project plan. Okay. Pie chart. Pie chart is used when we have to show the shares. Okay, suppose suppose a business is operating across multiple regions. So I need to figure out how much profit is coming from each of those regions. If I have to figure out what is the profit from each region, I could create a pie chart. It will show me what is the profit from each region. How much of the profit is coming from central, from east, from south, and from west. Okay, so if I want, I could also label it. I could label it with how much percentage is coming from each of those regions. Okay, I could show the actual profit. I could show the name of the region also, everything. So this is a pie chart to show the shares. So if this is indicating 100% profit, the circle, then we notice that 13% of the profit is coming from central. 31.9% of the profit is from east, 16% from here, and 37% from here. That is a pie chart showing the shares. Then we have scatter plot. Scatter plot is used to show the relationship between two variables. Okay, the relationship between two variables in the sense, the correlation. Okay, for example, what will be the profit given sales? What is the impact of sales on profit? What is the impact of discount on sales? What is the impact of calories consumed on the weight gain of a person? Okay, so when we have such questions where we have to see how change in one measure is going to impact another measure. How changes made to one measure will impact another measure. then scatter plot can be created. So how to create a scatter plot? Let's say I need to check profit versus sales by different customers. Okay, I need to check the relationship between profit and sales. So I could create a scatter plot. I don't really see any significant relationship between them, but let me indicate the discount also. So you see, most of these circles down here are big circles. Big circles means what? High discounts. And these circles here are small, means very little discount is being offered over there. Okay. Lot of discount is being offered in these areas, very little discount is being offered over here. So we get to know the relation. So more the discount, the transactions are going into loss. Lesser discount, transactions are going into profit. Like that. This is the scatter plot. Area chart, it can represent the performance of any measure over a period of time by stacking the areas one on top of the other. So it's just like a line chart. Only thing is we will stack things one on top of the other. So if I take, maybe I would like to check the performance of the business, profit performance across different years and from various segments, customers of various segments. Look at that, individual lines. Now imagine stacking them one on top of the other. That will give you an area chart. So you know what is the overall performance. At the same time, you can show the breakup. How much of that profit is coming from which member, you can see, you can display the breakup like that. Okay, so this is area chart. Dual axis chart. Again, I was talking about the concept of dual axis earlier also. Dual axis chart is used when you have to compare two measures against each other. It could be any two measures, but generally actual versus target would be the right thing, right kind of a comparison to perform. So let me take dual axis. I'll take coffee chain. So let's say there are different states where the business is operating. Across different states, I'm going to check the profit and I'm going to show the budget profit also and see whether they have reached the target or not. So one of it profit I will keep as a bar. The second one budget profit, let's say I want to indicate with a line. I could simply go ahead and merge them with the concept of dual axis. Now this somehow became a circle. I'll make it a bar again. Look at that. So when you have to compare the performance of different measures against each other, by indicating them, you can do so. One is the bar. So the target is coming as the line and actual performance is the bar. So here we have gone above the expectation. Here we could not reach the target. Here we could not reach the target. Here we could not reach the target. Here we couldn't reach the target. All these places we have gone above the target. Okay. Target is the line and actual performance is coming in the form of a bar. So that is a dual axis chart. We can use any sort of, this is called mark type here. Anything you can use to indicate the value. I could use a circle. I could use a square. Okay, I could use a line. I could use some shape of my choice to represent the data. I can have both lines. I can keep one as a bar and one as a line. So it's like your choice. However you want, you can configure it. Bubble chart. Bubble chart is used for comparative analysis. So when we have to compare the performance of different measures against each other, bubble chart comes, different members. Relative comparison or categorical comparison of data is what we are talking about here. Okay. So across different subcategories, suppose I need to check what was the sales like. Which subcategory is selling the most? Which subcategory is selling the least? Suppose something like that you have to figure out. You could create a bubble chart. Okay. So I will take, let's say for various subcategories, I need to check the sales. Selected both of them, I'll go to the show me panel and click on bubble chart. Look at that. So phones and chairs with the largest bubbles are the ones with highest sales. Then we have storage machines, tables, binders. Lesser than that, accessories, copiers, bookcases, appliances. Even more lesser than that, supplies, paper, art, so on. So that's a bubble chart. The size of the bubble is indicating the value of the measure. Okay. We have histogram. Now, histogram is used to perform distribution analysis on the data. It can show the distribution of numerical data with its frequency. So creating a histogram in Tableau is pretty easy. Let's say I want to check the distribution of discount measure, and I'll just go and click on the histogram icon. Look at that. So how do I read or interpret it? Now, whenever we create a histogram, a bin corresponding to it will get created in the bin corresponding to it gets created. I'll make it 0.15. Let's say 15% discount is what I'm checking. So I can notice that most of the transactions, nearly 5,000 transactions were done by offering a discount of less than 15%. 15 to 30, another 3,700 transactions. Very few transactions are there where we have offered high discounts, like more than 30% discount offered here. Very few transactions with high discounts. Most of the transactions were completed by giving 30 or less than 30% discount. Okay, so it talks about the frequency distribution. That is the beauty of a histogram. Okay, I'll just show the hands-on part we've completed. Let me give you a tour of our LMS. So if you enroll for any program at Edureka, you will be given access to the LMS, the Learning Management System, the Learning Management Portal, okay? edureka.co, wherein you have to go and sign in. So once you have signed in, okay, when you go to My Courses, over here, when you go to My Courses, it will take you to the course page. It will show you the list of courses that you're enrolled for. Now, when I click on Go to Course, it brings me to the course. As I was telling you, Tableau. So we have something called as Getting Started Prerequisites. Okay, you have some recordings that are given to you. If you're working on Tableau, you are expected to know SQL. Okay, so this is given as a prerequisite. You can watch the videos over here. You can watch the tutorials over here and learn SQL. In case you're not familiar with SQL, you could go ahead and learn it from here. R and Python, object-oriented programming, these are not as important, but first priority should be given to SQL. Then you can learn these loops, functions, and these things if you want. Not mandatory. Then there will be some pre-recorded classes, self-paced recordings given to you. You can watch them and prepare yourself upfront. Okay. So upfront you can prepare yourself. Means what? Even before the session starts, suppose tomorrow you're going to be attending the training and module 1 will be covered. Beforehand itself, you watch the video. So what will happen? You will be well equipped. You will be well prepared for the upcoming session. Whatever questions you might have on each topic being covered, you can get them clarified by your trainer. Of course, the trainer is going to explain everything. The whole thing will be explained to you in the class. But if you watch it at least one time before the session itself, it's like when the trainer is going through those concepts in the session, you will be able to grasp them much more easily because you would have a fair understanding of what's going on. Okay. Next is course content. As I told you, Tableau, there are 12 modules in total. You can see them. Okay, so module 1. Under each module, again, the presentation, the training material is there. Recordings of Your live sessions will be available. Every class will be recorded and class recordings will be provided to you, which you can refer back to. After every module, there will be quizzes. There will be case studies that you're supposed to take up. Okay, and there are a lot of demos that you will be doing in the class. Apart from that, there will be some case studies that you have to work on by yourself. Case studies are like assignments. Each module has 2 assignments, 2 case studies that you need to take up and submit. Okay, every module you go to, you will find the same. You will find the recording of the class as and when it happens, presentation, quiz, case studies, and in-class demos. Like that, in total, we have 12 classes. Now, when you go up to class schedule, you will be able to see what are the upcoming classes. If you have missed any class, you can view the recording of that class. Okay, here you will also get an option to submit your feedback for the class, whether you liked it or not, all that you can tell us. There is a discussion forum where you can contact other people who are enrolled and you can check, communicate with them. I think, I'm not sure about this, but you have support. So let's say you're working on some case study or some quiz or some requirement and you're stuck. So you could raise a support ticket. You can go through the questions here and batch shift. This is very interesting, very important to know. Suppose you're enrolled and then you don't like the way the course is being presented. That maybe, see, not everybody will like everybody, isn't it? It's not like everybody should like me. Maybe some of the people enrolled to my batch don't like the way I'm presenting it. So they don't have to feel stuck with me. So they can contact the support team. They can tell that we are not able to follow the trainer. We are not happy with it. Can you move us to a different batch? And they will shift you to another batch with another trainer. Okay. Or maybe you are a working employee and you thought you will be able to attend the session and you got enrolled. Later, some high priority work came up and you'll not be able to continue that batch. You can shift to another batch, which is more convenient, where the time slot would be more convenient to you. Okay. So you can, check all the questions related to the class, recording, etc. If these sample answers given here don't help you, you could raise a ticket. So bottom right corner, we have the option to raise a ticket. Once we click on that option, you can select the course under which you're trying to raise the ticket, whether it is a technical query related to installation of the tool, something related to the coding part or assignment query or project query. You could select it. You could put your question. You can give the description and attach a file. Suppose at some step, the installation is failing. So take a screenshot and put it in a file and upload it here. When you provide screenshots, it becomes easier for the support team to answer your questions and to come back with the right answer to your question. Okay. So if it's non-technical, is it video recordings? Are you not able to access the recordings? Are you having issues with logging into your LMS or, accessing the documents there, account related? You can put questions, general discussion. So like this, you get to raise support ticket and within 24 hours, you can expect an answer from the support team. Okay, that is how, if you have any doubts, the process will work at Edureka. Yeah, so that is pretty much about things, how we handle them here, and some basic idea about different charts that can be created so that you can appreciate the tool. Just see how easily, how quickly, in maybe at most I might have spent 40 minutes exactly on this particular workbook creating the charts, and see the number of charts that I've managed to create, isn't it? So the tool is very, very user friendly, very easy to implement. It's very easy to navigate, to create charts. N number of visualizations can be created within no time. All right. If you all have any questions, I will take up now. The next 5 minutes, I will just wait and see if there are any questions and I will take it. So that's it from my side for today. Please let me know if you have any questions. I hope you all understood everything discussed and I hope it was in some way or the other informative. Thank you so much for attending the webinar. I'm here to take up questions. You can put your question in the chat box if you have any. I shall answer it. Thank you. No questions? All right. Thank you all so much. Then, if you don't have any questions, you could drop off from the session. Thank you.